The Mediterranean is littered with ghost cities back to ancient times, antiquity. But today I tried to visit one that became deserted just 40 years ago. It was a short-lived trip because the police arrested me. It's the ghost town that you're not allowed to photograph. I visited ghost towns around the world, from California to Ireland to China. But this one has got to be unique. 40 years ago, the citizens of a deep harbour city that had been occupied for more than 2,000 years fled in fear.
Hi, hello. Very good. İleri! It happened because the politics of nation states are locked into what I call the Westphalian syndrome. In the 17th century, the power brokers of Europe met in the German town of Westphalia and decided to carve up the continent to suit themselves. They created territorial borders and established the nation state. Cyprus became a victim of that doctrine. 40 years ago, the military here in Cyprus executed a coup with the junta from Greece. They decided that Cyprus should be annexed to Greece. Now, Turkey and Britain were party to a treaty which declared that they would guarantee the sovereign independence of Cyprus. So when the military executed a coup against the elected president here in Cyprus, Turkey took a dim view of what had happened. They knew that the next step would be to turn Cyprus into an extension of the Greek state. What had happened was this. When the army took over, they installed as president of Cyprus a man called Nikos Samson. Now, Samson was notorious as one of the murderers who gunned down British military policemen, soldiers, in what was known as Murder Mile, Ledra Street, which is a shopping centre in Nicosia. He was devoted to the idea of enosis, of turning Cyprus into part of Greece. So, within days of the coup d'etat in the summer of 1974, paratroopers dropped from the sky, landing on the northern half of Cyprus. The Turkish army had arrived and they were going to seal off at least part of the island which would be occupied by the Turkish population. The citizens of Famagusta fled in terror. They thought that within days they would be able to return to their homes. That didn't happen. The barbed wire went up and sealed off the city. Since then, the United Nations has patrolled what is known as the Blue Line. The northern part is occupied by the Turkish army, and the southern part is not recognized by Turkey as a sovereign state. What can be done about this? Over the 40 years, animosities have been such that, yes, it's not been possible to reach an agreement to reunify Cyprus. This is a tragedy. When I was a boy, my godfather took me swimming on the beach in Famagusta. For a year I lived with my aunt in Nicosia, a Greek Cypriot family, and they lived next door to a Turkish family very happily, and that was the pattern throughout Cyprus. The Greeks and the Turks had coexisted for centuries. How can we find a way to reunite the island on terms that would assure everybody of their cultural diversity, of their security and prosperity? The answer lies beneath the Mediterranean Sea itself. Cyprus has discovered vast reservoirs of gas beneath the sea. The gas rents will enrich Cyprus. But Turkey says no. Cyprus can't go prospecting for those gas rents, can't tap the revenue to fund the common good of the people of this island, because Turkey claims sovereign control, ownership of the gas fields all the way up to the Egyptian border. Well, of course, Cyprus is a member of the European Union. It is recognized by the rest of the world as a sovereign state, and therefore it does actually own the gas fields beneath the Mediterranean. The basis for an agreement is this. Both sides could agree that the gas rents are the common resource of the people, all people in Cyprus. If those gas rents were conserved and used to fund public services for everybody, Greek and Turk alike, it would become possible to solve the economic problems on both sides of the current divide. Governments on both sides of what would be a new federation could eliminate the bad taxes that are a constraint on production by getting rid of income taxes and sales taxes and all the other taxes that are a burden on people. Public services could be funded out of those gas rents. There would be a bonanza for everybody on the island. Here surely is the basis for reunification, for renewing ancient friendships and allowing the people of Famagusta to finally return to their homes.